Welcome guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming back to another video. Thank you so much for coming back to another reasoning. Blessings, blessings, blessings to all of you guys. If you haven't subscribed already, you know what to do guys. Go and hit that subscribe button right down below, right here. If you have subscribed already, thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. Make sure to smash that like button and definitely drop a comment. Yes guys, I'm back with another video for you guys. It's been a while. I miss you too. um Nonetheless, it's a sit down video for you guys today, and we're going to be talking about things they don't want you to know about Canada, expectations versus reality, right? Now this video is primarily for persons who are thinking of migrating to Canada, or for persons who recently migrated to Canada, right? What is it like is a question that many persons always ask, and persons who like recently land, it's usually sometimes uh, a wake up call in terms of it's not really what they have expected, depending on what their expectation level was. Now in this video, of course, I'm just going to be sharing my experience being here for a couple of years now, integrated into the society. I'm just going to be painting a real picture of what migrating to Canada is really like, and just share the good, the bad, and the indifferent, right? Now, if you guys have a different experience than what I am about to share, that's okay too. We all have different journey, and we all experience different things. But nonetheless, don't hesitate to just drop your experience down in the comment section down below, just so that somebody else can see it and also benefit, because that's what we do here, right? Now, one of the things that many persons grossly underestimate about migrating to Canada is how hard it is to transition sometimes. Now, the first couple months after migrating, especially if you migrate as a temporary resident, and by temporary resident I mean study permit or work permit, it's very, very hard, especially finding that first Canadian employment. And within the first couple months, you can find yourself questioning a decision, if it is the right decision that you have made, and also is it worth it. Now, the longer you're here, most person's scenario is the easier it becomes, and that's what I've noticed for myself as well. The longer I'm here, I notice that things seems to work out easier over a period of time. But when it just comes, things are not always rosy. Um, Especially finding a first Canadian employment can be very tough. And if you migrate or come to Canada and you don't have enough finance, it might cause you to be in a very peculiar position, right? And it might put you in a very, very bad spot, and then it might cause you to not see the fun or the joy of moving to this country, right? So ultimately, what I would like to say to you guys is, if you are migrating to Canada as a temporary resident or even as a permanent resident, keep a realistic expectation about how hard or easy it is to find a job, right? Now, different provinces, different cities have different job markets, right? My tip to you would be to do as much research as possible on where you are going, right? Don't bother go pack up over Toronto. Nothing is wrong with Toronto, but don't bother go pack up over Toronto and then complain when you can't get a job. The point of that is to say that some cities are more populated than others, right? Now, do your research. If you go to Toronto, it might be more difficult for you to find a job, or it might be easy. Everybody have a different experience, but just like from hindsight, just on the fact that there's more people, it might be more difficult for you to find a job compared to probably a less populated city, right? So you want to do that research first, and make sure that you are keeping a realistic expectation of the cost of living as well. Now, many people are shocked when they come to Canada and they notice how expensive things are, because they feel that because Canada is like in North America with the US, things are as cheap as it is in the US, i.e., goods and services. Now, let me just say this, guys, it's very expensive living in Canada. Rent is very expensive, housing is very expensive, groceries are expensive, clothes is expensive, transportation, it's a very expensive country. And it is not for a new immigrant, especially if you are not working in Canada, it can be very, very costly. It is not a fairy tale, right? Many persons come and they have the fairy tale idea of what living in Canada is supposed to be like. And because of that, they get a very, very, very horrible wake up call where they notice that it's not as rosy as they think it is. Um, it's one of those countries where the opportunities are there for you to grow and develop, but it comes with a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices. Because not going around in the car, now, guys, it's a very expensive country to live in. And just because it's a very expensive country to live in means that you have to be working 24/7 in order to fulfill those expenses, right? Canada and the US is different. Clothes and grocery is much cheaper in the US than in Canada. Canada is a very expensive country. And when you're moving here, you have to have that in your mind, right? Don't expect things to be rosy. Like when as soon as you come, everything is alright. Be prepared. Um, be prepared. Be prepared. Now there are many many good things about migrating to Canada. From my own experience, healthcare, education, safety is three things that jump out at me. Right now, if you're like me who have kids, safety is big on my list of agenda because I wanted to grow my kids in a environment that is safe. I don't want to be, even though nowhere is 100% safe. I get it, crime happens everywhere, but um, it's less prevalent in some other countries. Canada is one of those countries, right? Now, Canada is often ranked in within the top 10 best countries to live in the world, and it's because of its safety, its education, and its healthcare. Now, very very good healthcare, guys. Most provinces offer provincial health. Now, there's some slight variation depends on province to province in terms of as a temporary resident. Some provinces you have to wait a few months before you can get it, while other provinces like Alberta you get it immediately. But just check out the province that you're going, and provincial health usually covers all major surgeries, doctor visits, and stuff like that. It doesn't usually cover prescription drug, optical, and dental, right? That would have to come with a secondary coverage. Like if you go to school, some schools offer like health insurance, and if you work full time, of course, the employer most times offer health insurance. So that offset optical and dental and prescription. But provincial health usually just cover major surgeries and also doctor visits, right? Now, you want to always keep into consideration, guys, that listen, it's a different society than what you are accustomed to, depending on where you're coming from. Now, if you're coming from the Caribbean, now when you move to Canada, you'll notice that there's a great culture shift. The culture here is a lot more reserved than in the Caribbean, 100%. Now, the Caribbean, for example, we have a very extrovertious, if that's a word, outgoing, bubbly, loud, extravagant, kind of like personality, culture, lifestyle kind of thing. It's a total opposite here. What I've noticed is that persons are more low key, persons are more reserved, they are more introverts than extroverts. It's just a culture shift, right? I find that when persons from the Caribbean come, they expect persons to be like the same culture as we are, like good morning, good evening, good afternoon, simple courtesy. But it's not always that way, right? It's not always that way, guys, and you have to be prepared for that. Because I got a shock when I came and I noticed that I lived in an apartment, and persons who like live beside me in an apartment, like um, whenever I see them in the morning, I'll be like, good morning. Sometimes I didn't even get an answer. And it's not that they're being rude, it's just that it's a different culture. Sometimes I say it and they're genuinely shocked because they're not used to it, right? Different culture, guys. Like, I remember when I was in class, like when I was going to school and I was in class with some students, like we are in class and we're having discussions in class and we even have like group work in class. And as soon as class done, I pass them in the corridor and they pretend like they don't even know me. And I'm like, yo, but we're like, you understand? In the Caribbean, like when you're in school, when you're in class, like your classmates are like your friends, your linky, your par, through the entire school, like una a par. But here it's different. If we're just in class, when class done, it's almost like the communication cut off, the communication done. That was a big, big, big shock for me personally. When when I noticed, when I saw that, I was like, yo, different society, right? And it's not that they're being rude or trying to offend you, or they're unpolite or impolite or whatever the word is. It's just a different culture. So when you move to Canada, guys, you have to keep all of these things in mind. That, listen, it's a different country. Everything is different. The cost of living is different. The safety, everything is just different. So you have to make sure that you change your mindset to adapt to the new environment. And something that I've noticed is a lot of downfall, especially for Caribbean persons. And I'm speaking a lot about Caribbean persons because that's where I'm from. If you guys don't know, I'm from the beautiful island of Jamaica. That's where I'm from. So a lot of references back to the Caribbean. Now, what I've noticed is a lot of downfall. Is a downfall for a lot of Caribbean nationals who migrate to Canada. I think we struggle to adapt to the culture, and because of that, we keep our Caribbean mentality, and that doesn't cause us to grow, right? Like, I think when you're in Rome, you have to do what as Romans do in order to strive, in order to develop, and in order to grow. Not to change who you are. I'm not saying to change who you are, to sell out yourself. No, I'm just saying that adapt to the culture, adapt to the society, and that will go a far way in excelling your growth and development. Now, we have a crab in a barrel mentality in the Caribbean where we believe that, okay, then when I go through the door, nobody else is supposed to go through the door, and we believe that, okay, then it's all about us and no one else and stuff like that. But here it's a different thing. Everybody push you, everybody motivate you, and it's like people are genuinely happy most cases for your success, right? When you're in a place of work and you're working and you put out all, you're usually rewarded. You're usually rewarded. It's not like somebody's trying to roll your back. No, it does happen periodically speaking, because I mean people are people, right? But generally speaking, it's a forward progressive society where everybody just want everybody to achieve the best that they can. So that was something that was definitely an eye opener for me. And as I said, guys, if you're coming from a country that is different culturally than wherever you're going in Canada, my advice to you is to change, adapt to the culture that you're coming into, right? Now, one of the worst things that you want to do is to only keep friends and network with your group of people, right? That's not going to cause you to grow. You want to keep a wide cross section of network. You want to get to meet people from different cultures. You want to meet Canadians. You want to have everybody in a network so that you can see things from a different perspective, and ultimately that will cause you to grow. Get rid of that mentality, right? Come out, step outside the community, because oftentimes, if you stay within a community, it's just you still living in whatever country you came from, just a different land, right? If that makes sense. Yeah, hope it makes sense. Now, honestly speaking, it's not a perfect society, guys, right? Now, there are things that even, like, sometimes I'm wondering, like, why is that happening or stuff like that. But nowhere is perfect. It's one of those things where you can't have your cake and eat it, because if things was perfect in your home country, you wouldn't want to migrate in the first place, right? So if your home country is hard and then you encounter hardship in Canada, that's okay. Just choose which part you want to encounter hardship, right? I choose to encounter hardship here in Canada, and hopefully you guys watch this video is because you choose to do that as well. Do not come and think, say, as soon as you come off the plane, everything is gonna be okay, everything is gonna be alright immediately. Oftentimes persons migrate and have to sleep on the floor for a couple months, have to just have a bed in them apartment for the first couple months, walk in a snow for the first winter. Be willing to do that. Do not live in a fairy tale. When you come, keep that mindset, get that tough mentality, get that tough mentality that says, I will make it by the hook or by the crook. You understand? And you keep that mentality, and you make that mentality push you and develop you and push you in the direction that you want to go. Because if you don't have that mentality, you're gonna just be passing time, and you're not gonna be able to achieve your full potential, right? So once you keep that mentality, everything is alright. It's a society that you have to be very careful in, because there's a lot of access to credit. It's a society that is built on credit. Everything is credit based, right? And your credit rating is very, very important. Now, most immigrants learn the hard way when it comes down to credit and debt management, because in our home country we don't really have that, right? They say that they have credit bureau and stuff like that, but we don't really have that, right? It's not really a credit based society, but here it's a credit based society. So it's easy to get carried away, um, just based on the fact that there's so much access to credit, right? Now, be aware of it. Be aware of it and only take necessary credit. You have to take credit because no credit is just as bad as bad credit, right? So you have to take credit in order to build up a credit history, but only take credit that is manageable and that is beneficial to you. Don't just take it because you want to build up a credit history, or because it makes sense, or because you just want some extra money right now and you don't have anything to do with it, right? Recipe for disaster. Now, we all make mistakes, and it's all about just making those mistakes so we can teach you guys not to make those same mistakes, right? Most persons who migrate to Canada end up ruin their credit and then has to be in recovery mode for the next couple of years, right? So don't fall into that trap, right? Bear in mind that it's a credit-based society. You have to take credit to build your credit history, but take necessary credit, right? Debt management and credit management is very, very, very important here in Canada. Keep an open heart, keep an open mind where that is concerned, but just don't take more than you need. Thank me later for that advice, by the way. Now, as I said, it's not a perfect society, but it is a good society. Now, by far, this is the best decision that I have made for myself and my family. I'm still here. I'm still going through. I'm still in the fight. I'm still pushing through on the Canadian dream and the Canadian goal. I'm still pushing through, and I wish the best for all of you guys watching this video as well. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. Anybody who tell you that it's gonna be easy, I'm saying that they are lying. But again, I can't say that because everybody have a different experience. Just be willing to know that it's gonna be tough. You have to work hard, and you have to make a lot of sacrifices, right? That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Be mentally prepared. Be mentally tough for that. All right, guys. Now, these are the things that people don't tell you a lot about when they talk about migrating. It's always about the good things. It's all about the glimmer and the glamour. But it's not always that way, guys. I've met immigrants who end up being homeless, right? Just because of bad decisions and just not understanding the culture, understanding the system, right? Just as anywhere else, you can end up on the street if you make bad decision. It's the same thing here. Being an immigrant, it doesn't mean that you are exempted from the harsh reality of society. You have to keep that in mind, and you have to just always make smart decision, the smartest decision as possible, right? More so for temporary resident, because we are constantly on our treading on a chalk line pretty much, because one bad turn and that can be it. But just keep pushing, keep working towards the Canadian dream of becoming a PR and citizen. That is the goal, and that is the intention. All right. Of course, my wish for everybody who's watching this video is that everybody will be successful in whatever quest that they are on. If you are already in Canada and you are already a PR and a citizen, big up yourself. Don't hesitate to drop your story, share your story. What was that like? How much years you have been here, stuff like that. For persons who are here and on a temporary permit, know that a better day is coming. Pretty soon we're gonna have to stop applying for work permit extension and study permit and stuff like that. And for persons who are in the first phase of their journey in terms of thinking of applying to come to this beautiful country, my advice to you is don't give up, keep positive, and you have a lot of support. All right, surround yourself with persons who have been through it and can guide and motivate you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you haven't hit that like button already, what are you waiting on? Please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, what are you waiting on? Hit that subscribe button as well, and definitely hit that share button. Share. See you guys in the next video.